We're at the neck end of the season. Well, the back end of the season. Live here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Don't worry, this is not the dirt layout. This is the regular pavement layout. But the 8 and the 96 are right next to each other in 5th and 6th. Those are the two that are fighting for the title. 40 laps around this short track. The title race between the 8 and the 96 has been underway for the season now, but now this is where it really gets real. That Kronberg on the outside, Gustavo Di Marza on the inside. If you're worried about who's in front, it is the 527 of Zach Johnson, with Justin Morrison Jr. continuing his very good form, other than the breakdown he had in Talladega, currently in second. Is Justin Morrison Jr. going to look for a line early? Johnson looking to get another win in his career after a fantastic rookie season. The 96 of Kronberg is in the lead. The 8 of Gustavo Di Marza right behind him. Kronberg into the inside of Huckleberry, and the 8 is right behind him as well. You can tell that these two are racing very, very hard. After this, there's just 3 races left. Rockingham, the Charlotte's Roval, and Homestead, Miami. These last 4 races are also important for both of these drivers, and you can tell that they're racing like it. Kronberg in 5th, Gustavo Di Marza in 6th, which means that Kronberg, in this position now, would get a 5-point gap, will get 5 more points than the 8 in this race, which would put him 1 point above Luis Gustavo Di Marza for the lead. Let's see if it stays. If it stays, Kronberg will be top of the table. Coming into the inside, the 8 is looking to catch up. Not even a fourth of the way in yet, and both of these drivers know that. Maybe they do, but they don't care because both of them are getting aggressive early. The 2 title runners right next to each other. Meanwhile, the 9 of Levante Martin is currently in 9th, and the gap to go all the way. Oh, we have a wrecked car here and another one. Baker and Davenport. The Dodge teammates have wrecked. Let's see if we rewind here how that happened. You see the crash that goes on here. Baker goes into the wall. Oh, and all of that! Baker is turned by his old teammate of Kyle Lamarty, which causes him to go into the wall and hits his own teammates as well. That is not good for the Ram Chargers as all 3 cars get involved. That is not going to be a pleasant. That is not going to be a pleasant scene in the garage. That's for sure. All 3 of the Dodge teammates have taken themselves out of the race. Baker is officially out of it. 3 wide here in the back of the pack. As you can see, Davenport is completely blown, and Martin is on the inside at 9th. Kyle Lamarty is still in the race. He's in the top 10, battling with Tamoshi battling with the 29 to keep that spot. But yeah, I do not think Baker is going to be happy with Lamarty after that, especially after Davenport got wrecked as well. Martin racing Bill Edgewater hard into the outside. Your current season champion, he's an underdog for this one as well. I don't think he's too worried about winning the title this year because a top 3 would still be very good for his standards. For anyone's standards, really. Martin is preferring to use the middle lane while Edgewater goes into the inside and Martin hits the wall. But if you know Levante Martin long enough, you know that hitting the wall is not going to slow him down one bit. Back into the front, Felix Palau Kronberg, still ahead of the 8 of Luis Gustavo Di Marza. Zach Johnson is still in the lead. He has led every lap so far. Zach Johnson has a very good lead over the rest of the pack as well, surprisingly enough. The 8 of Luis Gustavo de Marza still trying to catch up to the 96. In this point system, it doesn't matter where you are until the very last lap. Luis Gustavo de Marza could be waiting. We have a 3-car draft train going on, but drafting isn't really that important in short track racing. Unless all of these cars are looking to bump and run. This is the back of Justin Morrison Jr. He is currently in second, with a train of drivers right behind him. Fontaine looking to drive the train as well, and the 8 has caught up to the 96. Here we go, we gotta move here. The 8's gonna make a move. Is he going to accomplish it? No, he is not. Crawford gets more speed coming into that corner. But the 8 is looking. They are racing each other so hard. The 8 trying to go into the inside of the 96 blocking. Not even halfway done with the race yet, and these two know that it is oh so important to finish ahead of one another. We thought that Luis Gustavo de Marza was going to seal the race with about 5 races ago, but with a combination of his poor results and Kronberg's amazing results, they are neck and neck. And here comes Fontaine in the back as well. Can he make an impact on these two title racing drivers? Usually the rule of thumb is don't interrupt with the drivers who are fighting for the title. But Luis Fontaine, who is also in the top 5, looks to get a good season finish as well. You remember, him and his teammate Levante Martin finished top 2 last season. Martin to the wall again, and like I said, I don't think he cares. We are halfway here, lap 22 out of 40. The gap between Kronberg and Luis Gustavo de Marza has increased ever so slightly. It is about 2 cars lengths now instead of just 1. The 14 of Kasim Damatali in third, who won at Monza, but usually isn't in the top 5 like this. Super speedways are usually her thing, but she is dominating in a track that is completely outside of her comfort zone. The 53 and the 96 are right next to each other. Kronberg's going to look into the inside. Kronberg is able to pass Huckleberry. Now, is that going to let... If Kronberg can pass Huckleberry and completely pass him, that'll let Huck go back into the inside and increase the... and thus make it 1 car in between the 96 and the 8. But the 8 has dove inside as well. The gap is too small for Huckleberry to go back in. And the 8 of Luis Gustavo de Marza. It could be 3 wide here coming into turn 1. And here we go. Here comes the pass from the 8. The outside actually seems to be faster. Kronberg has taken it back. This battle for 5th place means oh so much, and Kronberg into the inside. Now it's Fontaine who can intervene. Gustavo de Marza way onto the outside. But it looks like he's going to make the pass, and he does. He gets more speed coming out to the inside. The 8 has passed the 96. Now with a result like this, the 8 will be ahead by 9 points going into Rockingham. We're not even concentrating on the leader of Zach Johnson. We're concentrating on the 96 and the 8. But if you're wondering how they're doing, Johnson is already passing lap cars, and Dustin Morrison Jr. is right behind him. We can have a good battle for the lead here, assuming the lap cars don't get in the way. But this is NR 2003. Lap cars always get in the way. Either way, Dustin Morrison Jr. looks into the outside of Johnson. The lap cars aren't as much on the outside, so Morrison Jr. don't seem to be faster that way. Taking our concentration back into the title leaders. Luis Gustavo de Marza has fully passed the 96 a few laps ago. Is that going to... Here's Fontaine looking to bump draft the 96. The last thing the 96 wants to do here is lose more positions. That's the difference between battling for the race and battling for the title. The battling for 5th is at the same time the battle for 1st. Luis Gustavo de Marza has a few car lengths in front and a few car lengths in back. He is clearly the faster car. If you look at the fastest lap, neither of the drivers are actually in. Kronberg has the 8th fastest lap, and it's Luis Gustavo Marza who has the 13th. It is the 25 of Calippo Sherwood who's currently pulling off the fastest lap. But here comes the lap cars. We're going to have a lot of chaos here. You can barely even tell who's in the lead. The leader is Zach Johnson, who is inching his way through cars, and Dustin Morrissey Jr. The purple 527 is in the lead, and the orange Phantom 10 is in second. And now Fontaine has passed Kronberg out of camera. If we rewind that and see what happened here. It looks like Fontaine actually passed him a while back. There it was. There was on the right side of your screen. There's Fontaine using the outside lane. Now let's get back into the race. 4 laps to go here at Bristol. It looks like Zach Johnson is going to run away with the win. But who is going to run away but that also important position? The 96 versus the 8 once again. They are neck and neck. Kronberg on the inside. Gustavo de Marza on the outside. The 8 has slowed down a little bit, and now the 16 can pass them. If the inside lane is the one with the most grip, the 96 and the 8 are going to meet once again. 2 laps to go. It looks like Kronberg is going to come into the inside. But Luis Gustavo de Marza is using the outside lane very efficiently. And here we go, last lap. Luis Gustavo de Marza has the advantage. And there's Edgewater, who is turned by Martin, who's having a little conflict there. Back to Felix Kronberg. He has fallen back, and that means Zach Johnson is going to win the race. And Luis Gustavo de Marza is going to keep his points lead and increase the gap between him and Kronberg. How about that? We are in for one hell of a title race, ladies and gentlemen.